Hi friends, sorry I've been a bit MIA for the last couple of months, but I've been moving, so I'm now living in Brisbane. I'm all settled in, so I'm absolutely loving that. I'm currently doing a couple of trainings up here with a coven that friends of mine are all in, and I'm also doing a training course on shamanic witchcraft. So pretty much I figured I should, well actually I do owe you guys another video in my vlog series. I only have 4 left to make up, and then pretty much it's going to be a bit of a free-form vlog for whatever piques my interest, or if anyone has any questions that they want answered, and I can help out with that. But yeah, so the intention behind today's video is initiation, intent, and integrity. So looking at what initiation means to me and initiations I've gone through in my life, or maybe going to go through in the next phases or next period of my life. Looking at intent behind my intention for why I want to go through these initiations, or intention for just general life, the intent that I put out in the world, intent behind ritual, and just intent in my general practice, and then integrity that I keep in relation to the craft and to myself and to my everyday life. So looking at initiations, for myself personally, when I started my practice, I went through my dedication period, and that was my year in the day, and then I went through a self-initiation, which it was so long ago I don't actually remember what I did, but I know it must have been good because I've been here for long enough now, so it's still been practicing for over 10 years, so must have done something right, and it was the intention that I had to keep going, so it helped me with that. So looking at that, that was the first initiation I've had experience with. Later down the track, when I joined the coven or helped create a coven, we had a group initiation together, so we initiated each of ourselves into the coven that we were working with, so initiating us into the power, the connection, and everything that comes with being a member of this coven. And that happened again later when I joined another coven that our coven kind of mingled and joined to form a linked coven together, so we went through the initiation there again for that. And right now I'm working on 2 separate paths and joining and learnings to go into 2 separate initiations. So one, later down the track I'll be looking at becoming an initiated priest of the Wildwood. So right now I'm going through my aspirant training, which is the first level of training that they have there. So you go through the basics of the craft, but you also learn a lot about Wildwood tradition, the gods, the elemental beings that we work with, how each person in the coven also practices, and how the Wildwood was formed, and each member that forms the Wildwood, their influence on the space that has been there. And then from there you move into the dedicant stage, which is the one right after you've done your aspiration. You move into that stage where you learn more in-depth information about that. You start learning more about the ritual practice that goes with the tradition, also learning a lot about the sacred 4 guardians of the tradition as well, so working a lot with them through this stage. Then you move into your priest and priestess training, so you go through what it means to be a priest or a priestess of the Wildwood, how you connect and how you become linked with the Wildwood itself and the sacred 4, and then after that you move into initiation to becoming a priest or a priestess. So it's a long process. It's kind of like going through a whole dedication process again, but there's no set time limit on how long it should take, or you're not put pressure on to go through the whole entire experience. You can get through a stage and then take time off and then look at coming back later. But it's more about personal growth and personal understanding of who and what the Wildwood is, who the 4 guardians are, and the 4 elemental beings as well, and just learning about all of that and the connections that occur and flourish within the Wildwood. The other learning process I'm going through right now is my friend is running a shamanic witchcraft course that I'm doing as well, and that's a 2-year lesson. So we start with the land aspect, so looking at the physical body, the natural environment around us, everything that's can be touched, can be felt, so plants, trees, spirits of place, all that sort of information we're learning now. We've only done a few lessons of that, but last one was breath work and meditation, and it was actually really quite interesting looking at aligning the 3 souls and just pretty much keeping yourself together, keeping yourself grounded. And from that we move into sky, which is the next aspect, and then the last aspect we have is water. And once we've finished all those, we go through, we have the choice of going through an initiation and initiating ourselves into the practice of shamanic witchcraft, which I'm really looking forward to. It's going to be 2 intense years because it's pretty much going to go through a lot of everything I may have been hiding from myself and haven't wanted to deal with over the years. So it's pretty much going through all that, and a lot of reflection and looking at myself through the process. The next thing we'll look at is intention. So looking for, during ritual work, how the importance of intention can be for your spell work. Because if you go into a spell and just half-heartedly want it to happen or to work, you're not going to get the outcomes you're expecting. If you want something to be strong and powerful, you need to put the strong and powerful intention into it. It's all about using your intention as your focus and your source of manifesting what you want to desire in the universe, but also looking at whether your intentions are pure or harmful, because depending on which intentions you put out there can really depend on what sort of outcome you'll get from this situation. So if you have more a pure intent, you're more likely to get a more positive outcome, you're more likely to receive what you're after. So it's very much being careful what you intend to happen as well. And just in everyday life, intention can be really important as well, because if you intend for one meaning to come out and someone interprets it somewhere else, the intention that you put out there wasn't as focused and as controlled as you'd like it to be. So it could be interpreted in different ways, and with that, you can be misunderstood a lot more, and with that, it can be harmful, it can be positive. It all really depends on how it works out, and yeah, the miscommunication that occurs there. And especially that's the same with any magical practice. If your intention is not clear, it's open to misinterpretation. So I've had experiences where a while ago I was looking at, I needed a break. I wanted a break from work, but I didn't specify what sort of break I wanted, and I ended up being hit by a car and got, I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks off work because I just couldn't work because I'd broken a shoulder. So I got the break I wanted, but not the way that I wanted it. Instead of getting a holiday, I got time in recovery, and it's been, 3.5 years since that, and I'm still dealing with the ramifications of that accident. Another example was probably about a year after, I think it was about a year or so after that, and I was just saying I needed time off work, I need time off work, I need time off work, and I ended up getting to a point where I was either going to get fired from my job or I resigned, and that wasn't the outcome I wanted, but I did get time off work. I did have a holiday, well, I think a holiday of a week or something like that, because I ended up getting a job straight away. But once again, the intention wasn't fully clear, and I find that I get that with my practice, that if I'm not clear in my intent, I don't get the outcome I want. Well, I'll get an outcome, but it's not the outcome I desired, but it is what I was asking for. So it's very much being careful about intent with that. And with intention related to initiation, it's also looking at your intention, why you want to go through this process and this experience. Is your intentions pure and clear, or are you trying to get something out of this experience that may be detrimental to yourself or detrimental to others? And it's pretty much balancing it up. Are you trying to become a better person for this, or are you trying to improve yourself in any way, or are you trying to improve yourself so that you can harm others? So it's looking at the intention behind that. The last thing you're looking at is integrity, and I've had a recent experience with this, that I got a job doing telemarketing, and I lasted about 4 days because I found that my integrity with the job was very much in question. I was pretty much lying to people on the phone, telling them that I was from the venue or the company that we were trying to sell the product for, when in all fact I was from a telemarketing company. And I just felt dishonest, and I felt that my integrity it was being challenged, and it wasn't being acknowledged, because I was trying to be truthful and in this company where I was working, essentially they just wanted me to lie to people I didn't actually know or had never met. And I know that some people can easily do this job and they find, like they make a living off it. But for me personally, I just find it wasn't something that I could do. And I found that my integrity was being challenged for this. And so I quit and I left that job. But it was that experience that I realized that over the years I have actually built up a personal integrity. I thought that because I hadn't really acknowledged it or used it often, that there wasn't really anything there. But in the truth of the matter, I had a strong integrity that there's certain things I won't do if it challenges my integrity or challenges who I am or who I strive to be or the ideal of myself. But yeah, so also with the processes I'm going through now, it's about integrity of learning about the practice I'm learning about, and not like I can expand and change who I am, but not changing myself or changing my integrity so that I fit in better or I conform to the mold of society. So it's with the practices that I'm going through now, the training and all that, it's about improving myself. It's about really discovering who the true self, who my true self is. And through that process, being able to strengthen my integrity about myself. So I think that's pretty much it for this video. So you will be getting some more from me soon. We have 3 left with this and then pretty much a bit of freeform. So I'm looking forward to that. But I hope you enjoyed this video and it's been good catching up with everyone. And if you got anything to say, leave me a comment or send me a message and I'll get back to you. But yeah, pretty much that's it. So blessed be, guys.